Topping the news, Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis says he was aware of the pending resignation of former Minister of Immigration, Financial Services and Industry, the Honorable Brent Symonette. The Prime Minister shared details of the lead-up to the resignation, speaking exclusively with ZNS News today from St. Lucia. Here's Altavi's Minnis.
Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis began his first official day here in St. Lucia with a brief breakfast meeting with the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Honorable Alan Chastanet. Both leaders held brief discussions, and the Prime Minister of St. Lucia also met the Executive Chairman of the Water and Sewerage Corporation and Member of Parliament for Long Island, Adrian Gibson. Several hours later, the Prime Minister granted us an exclusive interview here at the Harbor Club, and we talked about the resignation of former Financial Services, Trade, Industry and Immigration Minister Brent Symonette. Prime Minister Minnis explained to us how he learned about the resignation.
Brent and I have had discussion for a very long time. He said he wanted to leave cabinet. He wanted to spend some time with his family, and you can't begrudge anybody. Nor should you be irritated if anybody wants to spend time with their family. He had spent a lot of time in politics and he wanted to devote some time with his family, kids, etc. And I understood that. So he said that he would like to retire from politics, or cabinet really, at least by 65. We also had an ongoing discussion, and it was agreed between both of us that he would retire, but he would resign after the budget. Because we felt that if he resigned before the budget, it would cause disarray with the budget presentations, and that would be frontline and not what we proposed to do for the Bahamas.
Prime Minister Minnis explained why he chose the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson to become the next Minister of Financial Services, Trade, Industry and Immigration.
I watched Ellsworth arguments and his performance at the cabinet table. Ellsworth is very measured, he's very focused. His arguments are very sound. His arguments are very systematic, and he analyzed things with his argument. So I was very impressed. And then Brent and I had commenced our discussion months ago in terms of his resigning from cabinet. Ellsworth was the man I've identified, and I continued watching him to assume Brent's post.
Prime Minister, since Mr. Symonette announced his resignation, there are rumors circulating that you may shuffle the cabinet. Is that going to happen?
No, there will be no cabinet shuffle. We're quite happy with what we have now. Bahamas can see where we came from, where we are today, and where we're going. The Bahamas appreciates that we're moving with land reform to ensure that every Bahamian has an opportunity to own land in their country. Bahamas understands that we have moved to free education to ensure that every Bahamian has an opportunity for tertiary education. Bahamas understands that we're moving for preschool education.
Prime Minister Minnis is meeting once again with Prime Minister Chastanet of St. Lucia. They're holding bilateral talks on tourism between both nations. The Ministers of Tourism for St. Lucia and the Bahamas are present at that meeting. Reporting from the Harbor Club in St. Lucia with my colleague Philip Marsh, I'm Altavi's Minnis, ZNS Network News.